What's happening, people? I was just about to go for a run, but I just remembered somebody asked me the other day, Timishi, why do you train so hard? I always see you on Instagram, you're training constantly, you top off running, lifting so many weights, so why do you train so hard? So I just wanted to break down into a video why I train so hard, my story, where I started with my fitness, and why my backstory has got me to where I am now, fitness-wise. So some of you watching might be able to resonate. You might have been through similar traumas in your family. You might have close ones that have been through similar sort of things to me. So it's going to be completely raw, and I'll explain why my fitness journey started. So growing up, had an amazing childhood up until around 16, 17 years old when my mum was actually diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So it was a really rough period at the time because not only had she been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, but my grandma, who was living with us at the time, was also going through the same thing as well. So I had both my mum and my grandma going through the same sort of issues, which wasn't great for myself growing up to see the two most important women in my life battling something which I had no power to influence. So fast forward 2 years, unfortunately, I lost my grandma to breast cancer, of course, which was obviously a really tough period. But then also the year after, I actually lost my mum to ovarian cancer as well. So that was a 19-year-old me paving his way into being a man at that time. Having lost two people so close to me was a real struggle for my mental health. I'm just becoming a man. I'm just going off to uni. I'm just kind of finding who I am. And it was a really tough period for me to go through that, but then obviously be with my dad and my brother. I know guys don't speak too much, but we were there for each other as much as we could be. But it's a bit different when you have a mother or female in the family to help you in those sort of circumstances, which I'd unfortunately lost at that point. So I'd started going to the gym at those times, and for me, the gym was a bit of an escape to deal with all the traumas that I'd been through over the past few years. So in those sort of circumstances, as some of you might have been through, you can either go one or two ways. You can either go crazy with the going out, drinking, boozing, partying, or you can throw yourself into the gym. So I was, funny enough, in middle ground up until I got to university and then went completely left. So I was using everything that I was going through mentally as an excuse to throw myself into going out, partying, staying up late, doing things I shouldn't be doing. And that was just an absolute spiral for me and my mental health for a few years now. And although everything kind of seemed all right on the surface or surface level, I was going through things internally, wasn't really speaking to many people about what I was going through at the time, but I was just putting a smile on my face and carrying on. So the gym was always there. I always had the gym. I always had weightlifting primarily at the time, and I always used to watch YouTubers and always had aspired to have a physique like them when I was growing up or when I kind of got through the university stage. But it was just there. I wasn't really taking it seriously, and I didn't really feel too embedded in the fitness culture at that time. So that was probably around 20 years old, 21 years old. I continued to manage the stresses that I was going through at the time. I gradually started getting more interested in fitness and how fitness was actually a stress relief for me at the time, but I was still distracted by the going out, the party lifestyle, because that's what everyone did. I saw it as a release for me, and it was kind of a time where I could forget about everything else, because in those times your inhibitions are a bit blurred. You just partying, you just enjoying yourself, and you forget about real life, in quotations. So that went on for a few years, and after finishing my time in university in Leeds, I moved to London, where that carried on and just spiraled even more in terms of going out. So it actually got to the point of breaking when, after a night out, I remember coming home and saying to myself at like 4 or 5 a.m, I cannot go on like this much longer. I'm stressing myself out even more by going out, staying out till late, doing things I shouldn't be doing socially, and it's not getting me anywhere. So I had a bit of an epiphany, like a self-talking to at that time, and I just said to myself, it's time for a change. So at that time, I was starting to get into more hybrid training, so Hyrox-based workouts, HIIT workouts, and gym classes, which I'd always turn my nose up against before that. But those kind of workouts were perfect for my mental health because they're so intense, and this feeling that you get after doing them is better than anything else. So I was just so embedded in that style of training that I was finding myself enjoying training a bit more. My fitness, my physique was improving, and I was starting to see the results more. So it got to the point where I was like, I don't need to go out like this anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still love a social life. I'm a social person. I like going out, meeting new people, going out with friends. But the excessive nature in it was too much, and it really got in the way of my fitness journey at the time. So I would say probably around 23, 24 years old is when my fitness journey started to take off properly. So I'm 29 now. So my training migrated to hybrid training. So what that gave me was a discipline for something that I actually enjoyed doing, but it actually made me focus, and I would stop going on nights out because I knew I had to go to a gym class or a gym session in the morning. If you would have said that to me 3-4 years prior, I would have called you crazy. But that's the kind of mindset shift and lifestyle shift I had, which helped me to get to where I am now. It gave me a release that was actually beneficial for me. I was actually improving my physique. My mental health was flying upwards. And it just taught me that there's other ways to socialize other than just going on nights out and partying all the time. During that period of my life, as God would have it, I was messaged on LinkedIn for me to take a job opportunity in Dubai, which I jumped at immediately and moved out within 2 months. So as soon as I got to Dubai, my life changed even exponentially on what it was before. So the fitness culture here has been unbelievable. It's crazy. There's nothing that compares to the fitness culture in Dubai. And that was the perfect timing for me. As I was getting into hybrid style training, it was even amplified by moving somewhere where fitness is embedded in your everyday lifestyle. 2 months into moving out here, I set up a fitness community with 2 of my mates. Community of over 100 people. We've done run events, we've done workout events, we've done paddle competitions. And that was just a reflection of the lifestyle shift that I'd had personally. And I wanted to help and coach people to understand that there's better things in life than going out consistently and boozing, staying up till late. It becomes such an empty lifestyle. But then when you actually embed yourself into this fitness and health focused period of your life, then that's when your life flies up for the better. And that's what's happened to me personally. So not only have I been able to set up a fitness community, but I've been able to coach many guys on the same kind of issues that I had from going out consistently and not being able to manage their social life and the gym, because the gym's always been there for the guys, but they've never really understood how to knuckle down and manage both of them. Because my whole mantra is that you should always have a social life. Humans are social creatures. You need to have not only a balance, but you need to have the discipline to be able to keep a lid on the lifestyle and social life, which I didn't have initially, and then learned to manage that later down the line. What typically doesn't work for clients is when they're so focused on going all in, the all in mindset of just gym, hit my protein goal, nutrition and on point. Because what happens the majority of the time is that completely dies out. You'll do that for 2-3 weeks time, you'll get burnt out and you won't enjoy yourself. The approach that I have with my clients is to focus primarily on hybrid style training, because that's what's worked best for me. So I know a lot of guys will primarily just do weightlifting and not really track what weights they're lifting. They'll go to the gym for 3-4 years and not see any results. The reason for that is because there's no accountability and there's no tracking of what's actually been done in terms of the weights. Are you competing with yourself? Are other people around you? And that's essentially what my style of training does. So if we're doing hybrid style training, we're focused primarily on bodybuilding. You'll still do your compound lifts, you'll still do your functional training, but also in addition to that, conditioning and running is a massive part, because not only did running help with my physical journey and my physique, but it helped with my mental health massively. So at the period of time when I was transitioning from London to Dubai, I took up running, and I'd always saw it as a mental battle being able to run for long distances. But for me, at the same time, when I got to this period of my life, it was just a perfect release. Going into a 5-10K run and just forgetting whatever else is going on in life, have some tunes on and just block out the noise. You've been able to sustain that sort of level of pressure for half an hour, 40 minutes, is what's going to help you long term with any kind of stress. The nutrition side of things is completely about balance. Cheat meals and eating out consistently is what holds clients back. What I've realized since coaching a lot of guys is that people eat excessively, and it's not even out of being hungry, it's either greed or just boredom. If you know that you're going towards a specific goal or you have a target weight that you want to hit, that's when you'll start making those conscious decisions on, should I really be eating this food or do I really want to have this? It's having that sort of structure in place through the hybrid training, putting a balance on the nutrition, but then also the main thing which holds back a lot of guys that I coach is the social life thing. The social life thing is massive, and that's primarily where I help guys with the training and being able to manage that and still enjoy your life. A lot of guys in the early 20s especially will go to the gym and say, oh, I just want to look big to impress other guys or my physique. When you get past that nature, when you grow and mature out of that, you realize there's more to go into the gym than just your physique. Your mental is 10 times over. The physique becomes a byproduct. Ever since I focused on the gym being the mental benefit for myself, my physique has flown up massively. I started making better decisions with my nutrition. I started training harder if I knew I was going to feel better rather than look better. And a byproduct of that is your physique looks 10 times better. I honestly don't know where I'd be if I didn't have the gym because of everything that I went through. So if you're somebody who's been struggling in the past, you've been through traumas, you've had the gym there, but you've not really had much of a guidance on how to actually excel yourself, and you've just thrown yourself into the nightlife, into going out, into the boozing as an escape. I've been there. It's a fucking rough patch, but there's always a way out of it. And the solution to it is training. And the magical thing is that other aspects of your life just naturally fall into place as soon as you dial in on your training and nutrition. So if it's something that you have been through and you are struggling to get yourself into shape or actually dial in through the nutrition, through the training, or even have the mindset to be able to put a lid on the social life, then drop me a message on my Instagram below or click the link below and book a call with me and we'll go through everything. But it's just so sick to see all the improvements from my clients, that they have their own workout app where they can see their workouts for the week, the nutrition, do WhatsApp conversations every single day when they should be training, guidance with nutrition, time chart of how they've improved on their weight, how they've improved on the reps and how they've improved on the weights that they're lifting. Like, it's a full-on ecosystem for you to improve and smash it out. As long as it's enjoyable and you stick to the plan consistently over time, that's when you'll see results. But that's why I started this shit, man. Like, I know guys will dial in as soon as they see the change that I've been through. Like, I had to be a beacon for other guys. And now guys like Tomiwa has lost 13 pounds from dialing in, knowing what he's doing now with his nutrition. Jonathan, again, he's lost 10 pounds from just locking in and going through the system that we put in place for them. It's life-changing stuff, but it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. That's when I know that I'm personally serving my purpose. When I see the smiles on guys' faces when they've seen themselves improve or they're feeling mentally stronger, people are complimenting them, they're getting some attention now, they're feeling themselves. That's exactly how you should feel. The method we have is that you should still enjoy yourself, but be eating 70% whole foods, nutritious meals throughout the day, and 30% enjoy yourself. Like, life is for enjoyment at the end of the day. You don't want it to feel like a burden if you're going through all this training. And there's nothing holding you back from that. All you need to do is start and stick to it consistently. Your life will be on the up.